Welcome to Retired Pennies World, where every old coin tells a story of history, rarity, and hidden treasure. In today's video, we're exploring one of the most iconic coins in American history, the 1981 USA 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. This small piece of metal might look like an ordinary coin you'd find in your pocket, but what if I told you that some versions of this coin have sold for more than $100 in today's coin market? That's right, this simple 5-cent coin could be hiding serious value, and today we're going to uncover exactly why collectors are paying big money for it. The Jefferson nickel has been one of the most beloved coins in U.S. history. First introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, it has carried the image of one of America's founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, for decades. The obverse side of the coin features Jefferson's portrait, designed by the talented artist Felix Schlag. Around the portrait, you'll see the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year of minting, in this case, 1981. Flip the coin over and you'll find a stunning image of Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia, with the words E Pluribus Unum, United States of America, and the coin's denomination, 5 cents. This timeless design has made the Jefferson nickel one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. circulation. Now, let's talk about where these coins came from. In 1981, the U.S. Mint produced the Jefferson nickel in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint placed its unique mint mark on the coin: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. These mint marks play a big role in determining the coin's rarity and value. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced the majority of nickels for everyday circulation, while the San Francisco mint focused on making special proof coins for collectors. Altogether, more than 1.3 billion nickels were produced that year, but only a small number of them remain in perfect mint condition today, and that's what makes them so valuable. The 1981 5-cent coin was made from a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it that signature silver-gray color. Even though it has no precious metal like silver or gold, the real value lies in its condition, rarity, and demand among collectors. A circulated 1981 nickel that has been used in everyday transactions is generally worth its face value of 5 cents, but when you find one in uncirculated or mint state condition, the story changes completely. Coins graded MS65 or higher by professional grading companies, such as PCGS or NGC, can easily sell for $25 to $50. But if you're lucky enough to own one graded MS67, a nearly perfect coin with no visible flaws under magnification, you could be looking at a value of over $120 or more. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are another hidden gem. These 1981 S-proof nickels were not made for general circulation, but for collectors. They were struck using polished dies on specially prepared planchets to give them a mirror-like shine. A perfect 1981 S-proof nickel graded PR70 Deep Cameo, meaning flawless surfaces and deep contrast between the raised and flat areas, has been known to sell between $100 and $150. The beauty of these coins, combined with their scarcity in perfect condition, makes them a must-have for serious Jefferson nickel collectors. But that's not all. Some 1981 nickels have rare minting errors that push their value even higher. Errors like double strikes, off-center minting, die cracks, and missing elements can make a coin extremely desirable to error collectors. For example, a 1981 D nickel with an off-center strike or a visible die crack could fetch hundreds of dollars depending on how noticeable and unique the error is. These minting mistakes turn ordinary coins into rare collectibles, and the more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. If you're checking your collection for a 1981 nickel, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, check for a mint mark beside Jefferson's portrait. That tells you which mint produced it. Second, examine the condition carefully. A bright, shiny coin with sharp details and no scratches or signs of wear is always worth more. Coins that have been stored properly in holders away from air and moisture tend to keep their luster and value longer. If your coin appears almost perfect, it's a good idea to send it to a grading service for authentication. Even a small increase in grade, for example from MS66 to MS67, can mean a jump in price from $40 to over $120. Collectors value these coins not only for their beauty, but for the history they represent. Each 1981 nickel carries the legacy of Thomas Jefferson and the craftsmanship of American coin makers. While most people overlook nickels as simple spare change, dedicated collectors know that the right coin in the right condition can be worth far more than its face value. It's fascinating to think that a coin minted over 40 decades ago can still be a hidden treasure in your pocket or your old coin jar. You might be holding a small fortune, a rare collector's piece worth over $100. These coins are proof that even the most common-looking coins can surprise you with their hidden value, especially when they're well-preserved or contain unique features.
Next up, we are going to talk about a coin that may look ordinary, but can surprise you with its unexpected value, the 1996 USA 5-cent coin with the D mint mark, also known as the Jefferson nickel. Many people still have this coin lying around in their drawers, jars, or old wallets, not realizing that some of these nickels can be worth well over $100 in today's collector market. So stay with me until the end, because you might just discover that you've been holding a little piece of American treasure in your hands all along. The 1996 Jefferson nickel continues the long-running design tradition that began back in 1938, when the coin first replaced the buffalo nickel. On the front side of this coin, you'll see the profile of Thomas Jefferson, one of America's founding fathers and the third president of the United States. Surrounding his portrait are the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year of minting, 1996. Just beside Jefferson's ponytail, you'll notice a small D mint mark, which tells us that this coin was produced at the Denver Mint. The reverse side of the coin features Jefferson's famous home, Monticello, with the words E pluribus unum, United States of America, and 5 cents engraved around it. The design by Felix Schlag has stood the test of time, symbolizing both the history and pride of American coinage. Now, let's talk about the production and composition of the 1996 D nickel. It was made using a blend of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it that classic silver-gray shine. The Denver Mint produced over 817 million of these coins in 1996, which means it's not a particularly rare issue in general circulation. However, when it comes to coin collecting, rarity isn't just about how many were made, it's about how many have survived in pristine condition. And that's where things get interesting. Most of the 1996 D nickels you'll find today have been used in circulation, showing scratches, dull color, or worn-out edges. These are worth their face value of 5 cents. But if you happen to find a 1996 D nickel that has never been used, one that still looks shiny with all the original luster and no signs of wear, then you might be holding something far more valuable. In uncirculated or mint state condition, these coins can range from $10 to $50 depending on their grade. And here's the exciting part. Coins that have been professionally graded MS67 or higher by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC have sold for over $120 in auctions. That's more than 2,000 times its original face value. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are in perfect condition. What makes a 1996 D nickel special is its rarity at those higher grades. Out of hundreds of millions produced, only a few hundred have been found in near-perfect condition. These coins display brilliant shine, sharp details on Jefferson's hair and Monticello, and completely smooth fields without scratches or blemishes. Even a slight imperfection can bring the grade down, which is why flawless examples are so valuable. But condition isn't the only thing that can make this coin worth a fortune. Certain 1996 D nickels with minting errors have fetched hundreds of dollars in auctions. Errors such as double strikes, off-center minting, die cracks, and broad strikes make these coins one-of-a-kind collectibles. For example, an off-center 1996 D nickel with a clear, readable date and mint mark could easily sell for $200 or more, depending on how dramatic the error appears. These minting mistakes are rare because the US Mint has strict quality control, making every surviving error coin a unique find. If you're checking your coins for hidden treasures, pay close attention to the details. Look for that small D beside Jefferson portrait to confirm it's from the Denver Mint. Examine the coin's surface under a bright light. A perfect coin should have a full strike, visible steps on Monticello, and no dull spots or discoloration. Coins with what collectors call full steps are especially valuable because they indicate that the coin was struck with perfect pressure and alignment. A 1996 D Jefferson nickel with full steps in high mint state condition can easily reach prices above $100. Even though the 1996 D nickel isn't made of precious metal like silver or gold, it holds its worth because of its condition, beauty, and demand among collectors who specialize in Jefferson nickels. Remember, coin collecting isn't just about what the coin is made of. It's about the story, rarity, and preservation behind it. A perfectly preserved nickel from 1996 is a glimpse into American history, representing fine craftsmanship and timeless design. So before you spend that old nickel or toss it in your change jar, take a closer look. Your 1996 D 5-cent coin might be worth much more than you think. If you find one in uncirculated condition or with a unique mint error, you could be looking at a coin worth over $100 in today's market. That's the beauty of coin collecting. You never know when a simple piece of change could turn into a small fortune.
Next up, we're diving into one of the classic coins of modern America, the 1999 USA 5-cent coin with the P mint mark, also known as the Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it might look like just another ordinary coin from your change, but what if I told you that some of these coins are worth over $100 in today's coin market? That's right, this humble 5-cent piece could be a hidden gem sitting right in your coin jar. So let's explore its details, history, and true value in today's world. The 1999 Jefferson nickel represents the final years of the original design that began way back in 1938. This coin proudly carries the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, one of America's founding fathers and the third president of the United States. On the front side, or obverse, you can see Jefferson's left-facing profile with the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" beside it, followed by the year of minting, 1999. Just next to the portrait, you'll find the small letter P, which stands for the Philadelphia Mint, the facility where this particular coin was struck. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see the elegant image of Monticello, Jefferson's historic home, along with the phrases "E pluribus unum," United States of America, and 5 cents. This timeless design was created by sculptor Felix Schlag and has been one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. The 1999 P nickel is made of a durable copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a shiny silver-gray color that resists tarnish. The Philadelphia Mint produced around 1 billion nickels that year, which means they're not rare in general circulation. However, as coin collectors know, rarity isn't just about how many coins were made, it's about how many survived in perfect, untouched condition. Most of these nickels have been used in everyday transactions and show signs of wear, but the few that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition can be worth far more than their face value. A circulated 1999 P 5-cent coin is worth around its face value of 5 cents, but if your coin is uncirculated, showing no scratches, dullness, or marks, then it becomes much more interesting. In mint state condition, these coins can easily fetch $10 to $30, depending on their grade. However, collectors pay premium prices for the best examples. Coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC can sell over $120 in the current market. These high-grade coins are rare because even the slightest imperfection can reduce their value dramatically. One key feature that adds to the 1999 P nickel's value is the clarity of the steps on Monticello. Collectors call this the full steps designation. It means the coin was struck perfectly, with all 6 steps of Monticello visible and sharply defined. Only a tiny fraction of 1999 P nickels show full steps, making them highly sought after. A 1999p Jefferson nickel graded MS-67 with full steps can reach or even exceed $150 in value at auction, depending on demand and market trends. But that's not all. Error coins from this year can also bring surprising profits. Some nickels from this year were struck with misaligned dies, double images, or off-center designs, all of which are rare and collectible. A dramatic minting error can turn a 5-cent coin into a coin worth several $100s. For example, an off-center 1999p nickel that still shows a clear date and mint mark could sell for $200 or more to the right collector. These errors happen rarely, making them unique pieces of minting history. If you want to check whether your 1999p nickel could be valuable, start by examining it closely under good lighting. Look for the P mint mark beside Jefferson's ponytail to confirm it's from the Philadelphia Mint. Then check the shine. Uncirculated coins should have a brilliant luster and sharp details, especially around Jefferson's face and hair. Flip it over and look at the steps on Monticello. If you can clearly count all 6 steps, your coin could be a full steps variety, and that's where the big value lies. Even though the 1999p nickel doesn't contain silver or gold, it still holds strong collector value due to its design, condition, and rarity in high grades. These nickels are part of the closing chapter of an era. Just a few years later, the design was modified, making coins like the 1999p even more significant to collectors who appreciate the original Jefferson design. So while most people spend this coin without a second thought, knowledgeable collectors know that finding one in perfect condition can mean holding a small but valuable piece of history.
Next up, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1980 USA 5-cent coin with the D mint mark, also known as the 1980 D Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it might seem like just another ordinary nickel that you could find in your change, but don't be fooled. Some versions of this coin in perfect condition have been sold for well over $100 in today's collector market. So stay tuned as we uncover the hidden details, the history, and the real value of the 1980 D nickel in today's world. The Jefferson nickel has been one of the most enduring coin designs in American history. First introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, it features a portrait of the 3rd President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson. The obverse side, or the front of the coin, displays Jefferson's profile facing left with the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" engraved beside him, followed by the minting year, 1980. Just next to his ponytail, you'll find a small letter D, which stands for the Denver Mint, where this particular version of the coin was produced. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see a beautifully detailed image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, along with the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, United States of America, and 5 cents. The design was created by Felix Schlag, whose initials became part of American coinage history. Now, let's talk about the coin's specifications. The 1980 D Jefferson nickel is made of a copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it its distinctive silver-gray tone. The Denver Mint produced more than 635 million nickels that year, so it's not a rare coin in terms of total mintage. However, what makes a 1980 D nickel valuable today isn't how many were made. It's the condition of the coin, its grade, and whether it has any rare minting errors. Most 1980 D nickels you'll find in circulation have been used for decades and show signs of wear, scratches, dull surfaces, and worn edges. These are worth their face value of 5 cents. But when you find a coin that's never been used, one that still shines with its original mint luster and sharp details, then you've got something special. In uncirculated condition, a 1980 D Jefferson nickel can be worth anywhere from $10 to $50, depending on the grade. And if your coin has been professionally graded, MS-67 or higher, by a recognized grading company, such as PCGS or NGC, its value can soar to over $120. Yes, a single 5-cent coin can be worth more than $100 simply because of its condition and rarity at high grades. Collectors are particularly interested in coins that display what's known as the full steps designation.
This refers to the steps on the Monticello building on the reverse side of the coin. When a nickel is struck perfectly, you can see all 6 steps clearly defined. These full steps nickels are much rarer and command a significantly higher price. A 1980D nickel graded MS67 with full steps can easily reach values above $120, or even more depending on demand and market trends. Error coins from 1980 are another exciting part of this story. During the minting process, some nickels came out with mistakes, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, or missing elements. These errors make each coin unique and can raise the value dramatically. For example, a 1980D nickel with a visible double die error or an off-center strike could be worth hundreds of dollars, especially if the date and mint mark remain clearly visible. To find out if your 1980D nickel might be valuable, examine it carefully. Look closely under bright light or with a magnifying glass. Check for the small D mint mark beside Jefferson's ponytail. That confirms it was made in Denver. Then inspect the overall condition. Does it still have a bright shine and crisp details on Jefferson's face and hair? Flip the coin and look at Monticello. Can you see all the steps clearly, with no wear? If so, your coin might qualify for the coveted full steps designation, which can make it worth several times more than a regular uncirculated coin. Even though the 1980D nickel isn't made of precious metals like silver or gold, its collector value continues to grow each year. Coins like this one tell the story of American craftsmanship and history, and collectors love finding examples that have survived in perfect shape for over 4 decades. It's amazing to think that a coin worth only 5 cents in 1980 could now sell for over $100 simply because it's been preserved so well. So before you spend that old nickel or leave it forgotten in a coin jar, take another look. You might be holding a hidden gem, a piece of American history that could be worth much more than you think. Whether it's a perfect mint state coin or a rare error, the 1980D 5-cent coin proves that even the smallest piece of change can hold big value. Thank you for watching Retired Pennies World, your home for coin discoveries, hidden treasures, and collector secrets. If you enjoyed learning about the 1980D Jefferson nickel and its potential value, make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share this video with other coin enthusiasts. Stay tuned for more exciting stories about rare coins from around the world. And remember, at Retired Pennies World, every coin has a story, and every story could lead you straight to a hidden fortune.
In this video, we're going to explore one such coin that may be sitting quietly in your drawer, coin jar, or even your pocket change. The United States 5-cent coin from 2001 with the D mint mark. Yes, you heard that right. The 2001 Jefferson nickel, minted in Denver, might look like just another small piece of change, but if you've got the right one in top condition, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Some of these coins in mint state grades have been sold for well over $100, and in a few rare cases, even around $220. So let's dive deep into the details of this coin, its design, history, and market value in today's world. The 2001 5-cent coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the adverse, designed by Felix Schlag. Jefferson, the 3rd President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence, has been honored on the nickel since 1938. His face is shown in a left-facing profile with the word Liberty written in his own handwriting style on the right side, followed by the date 2001 and the small letter D, which stands for the Denver Mint, where this coin was produced. The Denver Mint is one of the primary mints in the United States, responsible for producing millions of coins every year, but only a small fraction of those coins remain in pristine, uncirculated condition suitable for collectors. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find a beautifully detailed image of Monticello, Jefferson's famous home located in Virginia. The building's architecture, with its dome and columns, is one of the most iconic symbols of early American design. Surrounding the Monticello design are the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. Even though this design is common among Jefferson nickels, the sharpness of these details is what truly separates valuable collector coins from ordinary ones. Coins that show crisp, clear details on Monticello, especially the full steps on its staircase, are considered far more valuable than those with worn or flat surfaces. Now let's talk about what makes the 2001 D 5-cent coin special in today's collector market. While millions of these coins were minted, only a small number remain in high-grade condition. The coin is made from a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silvery shine and excellent durability. However, over time, most circulated coins lose their mint luster and develop scratches or dull surfaces. That's why collectors and investors specifically look for coins that have been well preserved, those with full mint luster, sharp edges, and no visible damage. If your 2001 D 5-cent coin fits that description, then its value could easily be much higher than its face value of 5 cents. In average circulated condition, the 2001 D nickel is typically worth between 5 and 10 cents. But when you step into the higher grades, that's where the value jumps dramatically. A coin graded MS65 by PCGS or NGC can be worth around $100, and those in exceptional MS66 or MS67 condition can sell for up to $220 or more. Some collectors have even paid premium prices for coins with unique toning, minting errors, or strong full-step strikes on the Monticello design. Rare mint errors such as off-center strikes, double die obverses, or die cracks can further increase the value, with some examples being auctioned for hundreds of dollars. These unique features make every coin potentially different, and that's the thrill of coin collecting. You never know when you'll find that special one. The condition of the coin, often referred to as its grade, plays a massive role in determining its value. Coins that have been stored properly in coin holders, albums, or airtight capsules tend to maintain their shine and detail much longer. On the other hand, coins that have been handled frequently or exposed to moisture and dirt lose their collector appeal. So if you find a 2001 D 5-cent coin in great shape, consider getting it graded by a professional service, such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC. A certified grade not only increases the credibility of your coin's value, but can also attract higher offers from serious collectors or dealers. In recent years, coin collectors around the world have shown growing interest in modern U.S. coins, especially those in pristine condition. While older coins, like the Buffalo nickel or early Jefferson nickels, often steal the spotlight, modern coins from the 1990s and 2000s are now gaining attention too. This is because fewer people saved coins from this period in mint condition, making high-quality examples much scarcer today. A 2001 D Jefferson nickel that has remained untouched since it left the mint could easily be a hidden treasure worth more than $100, a perfect example of how patience and preservation pay off in coin collecting. So before you spin that nickel or toss it into a jar, take a moment to check it carefully. Look for the D mint mark, examine the shine, the details on Monticello, and any signs of unusual minting. You might be holding a small but valuable piece of American history that could surprise you with its worth. Remember, in the world of coins, even a small difference in condition can mean the difference between 5 cents and $200.
Next up, we're going to talk about the United States 5-cent coin from 1984 with the D mint mark. At first glance, this Jefferson nickel looks like just another ordinary piece of change. But if you take a closer look, you might find that this small coin could be worth far more than 5 cents, especially if it's been kept in excellent condition. Many collectors around the world are paying surprising prices for well-preserved examples of this coin, and some have even sold for as much as $250, depending on their quality and rarity.
The 1984 5-cent coin was minted at the Denver Mint, which is why you'll find a small letter D just next to the portrait of Thomas Jefferson. This classic design, created by artist Felix Schlag, has been used on Jefferson nickels since 1938. On the front of the coin, you'll see Jefferson's side profile with the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 1984. The reverse side proudly displays Jefferson's home, Monticello, along with the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. Even though this design might look simple, the value of each coin depends on the sharpness of these details and the overall condition of the surface. Most people don't realize that the material of this coin, a mix of 75% copper and 25% nickel, helps it keep its shine for decades. However, most 1984 nickels have been heavily circulated, leaving scratches, dull tones, and signs of wear. That's why collectors go after the coins that have been preserved in mint condition, the ones that still have their original shine and strong, visible details. These high-quality coins can easily sell for far more than face value. While the average circulated 1984 D nickel might only be worth a few cents, coins in uncirculated or mint state condition can be valued anywhere between $130 and $250 in today's market. One of the most important things collectors look for is the sharpness of the Monticello building on the reverse side of the coin. If you can clearly see all the steps leading up to Monticello, something known as full steps, that's a sign of a high-quality strike. And coins like that can fetch top prices. Some even go beyond $250 depending on the grade. Coins that are graded professionally by services like PCGS or NGC and reach MS65, MS66, or even MS67 levels are often bought by serious collectors for their beauty and rarity. These are the nickels that truly stand out from the millions that were minted in 1984. What makes the 1984 D nickel even more exciting is that a few error coins were produced that year. Mistakes during the minting process, like double dies, die cracks, and off-center strikes, can make certain coins worth much more than normal. These minting errors are rare and can raise the value of a coin into the hundreds of dollars, depending on how noticeable the error is. So it's always worth checking your coins closely. Sometimes even a small difference can mean a big reward. Collectors are also starting to pay more attention to coins from the 1980s, as fewer people save them in pristine condition compared to older coins from the mid-1900s. Over 40 years later, the 1984 D Jefferson nickel has become harder to find in perfect condition. With the growing interest in modern coins, those who hold on to mint state nickels like this could be sitting on a small but meaningful treasure. So before you spend that old nickel or toss it into a jar, take a close look at it. If your 1984 5-cent coin with the D mint mark has a bright luster, sharp features, and clean edges, it might be worth far more than you expect. Depending on the grade, rarity, and visual appeal, you could be looking at a value of anywhere between $130 and $250. That's a big jump from just 5 cents, and proof that even newer coins can surprise you with their worth.
Next up, we're going to talk about the USA 5-cent coin from 2001 with the P mint mark, a Jefferson nickel that might look common at first glance, but in reality can be worth far more than its face value if it's in excellent condition. Many collectors overlook coins from the early 2000s, but some of these nickels, especially the ones in mint state with sharp details, are now selling for surprising prices in today's collector market. The 2001 5-cent coin with the P mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the most important mints in the United States. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll see a detailed portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, designed by Felix Schlag. The word liberty appears in Jefferson's own handwriting, alongside the year 2001 and the mint mark P. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find Jefferson's famous home, Monticello, standing proudly with the words E Pluribus Unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America.
The coin is made from a mixture of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it that familiar silver-gray color and strong durability that has helped many of these coins survive decades of circulation. Now let's talk about what makes the 2001 P nickel valuable. Even though millions of these coins were minted, only a small number remain in pristine, uncirculated condition. Most of the nickels you see in circulation are worn, scratched, and dull from years of handling. But when you find a 2001 P 5-cent coin that still shines brightly with sharp edges, clear lettering, and a strong strike showing the full steps on the Monticello building, that's when the value starts to rise. In the current collector market, a 2001 P nickel in average circulated condition is worth its face value. But in mint state condition, it can range anywhere from $120 to around $240 depending on the grade and overall appearance. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC use a system to rate coins from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS65 or MS66 from the 2001 P series can bring in over $100, while a flawless MS67 coin with full steps can go for much more, sometimes near the $240 mark. The better the condition, the higher the value. Some collectors even pay a premium for coins that show beautiful natural toning or a strong luster that makes the coin stand out. So if you happen to come across a 2001 P nickel that looks like it was just minted yesterday, you could be looking at a hidden treasure worth a lot more than you think. Errors are another key factor that can increase the value of the 2001 P 5-cent coin. During the minting process, a few mistakes occasionally occur. Double die errors, off-center strikes, or die cracks can make a coin unique and highly collectible. These error coins are extremely rare, but when found, they can sell for hundreds of dollars depending on how visible and dramatic the error is. So if you notice something odd or unusual about your 2001 P nickel, it might be worth examining it by a professional coin expert or grader. It's also worth noting that modern nickels, like the 2001 P, are gaining more attention from collectors today. For years, coins from the 1940s, 1950s, and 1960s were the main focus of collectors. But as time passes, newer coins in perfect condition are becoming increasingly rare and valuable. Many collectors are now seeking to complete full Jefferson nickel sets that include coins from every year in mint mark, which makes coins like the 2001 P in high grades even more desirable. If your coin has been well preserved or stored in a protective holder since it was minted, there's a good chance it could attract serious attention in the collector market. Even though it's over 20 years old, the 2001 P nickel still carries a lot of historical charm and collectible potential. Coins that have not been touched by human hands or been kept safe from scratches and dirt tend to shine with the same brilliance they had when first minted. Finding such a coin today is not easy, which is why collectors are willing to pay premium prices for them. Depending on its condition, your 2001 P 5-cent coin could be worth anywhere between $120 and $240, and even more if it shows perfect details or rare minting features.
Next up, we're exploring a classic from American coinage history, the United States 5-cent coin from 1979 with the D mint mark. You may have handled this coin many times without realizing that it could be worth much more than its face value, especially if it's in excellent, well-preserved condition. Some collectors are paying hundreds of dollars for rare, high-quality examples of this coin, and today we'll explain exactly why. The 1979 5-cent coin, better known as the Jefferson nickel, was produced at the Denver Mint, which is why you'll see a small letter D located on the obverse side of the coin just next to the date. The obverse design features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers and the third president of the United States. The words "In God We Trust" appear on the left, "Liberty" and "1979" are on the right, and the D mint mark sits proudly beside them. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find Jefferson's beautiful home, Monticello, with the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. This elegant design, created by Felix Schlag, has been used on Jefferson nickels since 1938, making it one of the most recognizable designs in U.S. coin history.
This coin is made from a durable copper-nickel composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silver-gray tone that resists wear over time. However, despite the tough material, most of the 1979 D nickels found in circulation today have lost their shine, developed scratches, or suffered from heavy use. That's why collectors highly value coins that have remained in mint-state condition. Coins that still carry their original luster, have clean surfaces and sharp edges. If your 1979 5-cent coin with the D mint mark looks nearly brand new, you could be holding something worth much more than just 5 cents. Now let's talk about the market value of this coin in today's world. The typical circulated 1979 D nickel is only worth its face value, but once you move up into uncirculated or mint state grades, that's when things get exciting. A 1979 D Jefferson nickel in near-perfect mint condition, with strong luster and well-defined details, can be worth anywhere from $110 to $230, depending on its grade and quality. Coins that have been professionally graded and certified by PCGS or NGC with grades like MS65, MS66 or higher can reach those top prices, and even more in some rare cases. Coins that show full steps on Monticello, meaning every step is sharply visible, are especially valuable and often bring premium prices at auctions. Error coins from 1979 also add a thrilling twist to collecting. During the minting process, a few coins were struck with mistakes such as double die errors, die cracks, or off-center strikes. These minting errors are extremely rare, but can turn a simple nickel into a collector's dream. Depending on the error and its visibility, these coins can sell for hundreds of dollars or more. That's why coin enthusiasts always take a second look at their nickels, because one small imperfection could make a big difference in value. Another factor to consider is how well your coin has been preserved over time. Coins kept in protective holders, albums, or mint sets tend to retain their brilliance and value, while those left exposed to air and handling lose their collector appeal. If your 1979 D nickel still has that beautiful mint shine, it's definitely worth checking its grade and condition carefully. Even subtle differences in the sharpness of Jefferson's portrait or the clarity of Monticello can make a huge impact on the final value. As the years pass, collectors are showing more interest in Jefferson nickels from the 1970s. While coins from earlier decades often get the spotlight, the 1979 D series has become a sought-after collectible because of its vintage charm and the difficulty of finding perfectly preserved examples. The 1979 D nickel may not be extremely rare, but the finest quality versions are now becoming harder to locate, making them increasingly desirable for those completing Jefferson nickel sets. So before you spend that old nickel or let it sit forgotten in a jar, take a closer look. If your 1979 5-cent coin with the D mint mark is in excellent condition, with sharp details, a bright surface, and full steps on Monticello, it could easily be worth between $110 and $230. Some of the best examples have even been sold for more, depending on collector demand and grading results. It's another perfect reminder that small coins can sometimes carry big surprises.